Kuzu Zangpola, my name is Thai. I am such a huge fan of our guest today. I am sure you are too. So without any further ado, hi Jurmey.
Hello, La.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for having me, La.
I know you rushed all the way from Wangdi, so thank you for being here. I cannot wait to know more of you because I've seen you on YouTube, I've met you on Mountain Echoes, and I've always wanted to know a little more about you. So let's get to it. Can you tell us where you're from, how many siblings you have, and just basically your childhood?
Okay, so my mother is from Mongar, so my census is there, but I was born in Thimphu. I have one younger brother, and I lived in Thimphu up till 9th grade, and then after that I moved to Australia. Okay. And then I moved back here, and I just finished my bachelor's degree from RTC.
Oh, okay, so that actually leads me to my next question, because I was going to ask you where did you study and about your schooling background basically.
Okay. So I studied in Thimphu for the most of my life, and then I finished high school in Australia. I came back to RTC, and then I went for a year abroad to Europe from RTC, and then I just graduated, I think, 4 days ago.
Okay, how was it? Are you a good student? What kind of student are you?
I'd like to say I'm a nerd, so
that's good.
I wouldn't make any claims like to say I'm smart or anything, but I do put a lot of effort.
Okay.
So I really enjoy studying if it's my subject.
Okay. And what is your favorite subject? What is your subject?
So I'm a social science student, and I just studied political science and sociology. Okay. And even growing up, I think history, geography, and life sciences have always been very interesting to me. Yes.
I can see that though. I can see why you would be interested in that. Primarily, you're known for your songs, and I wanted to know when was the first time you sang? The first recollection of you singing.
There are a lot of videos at home from like this dusty old video camera of me singing different songs when I was really young. And I think when I was 11 years old, my parents enrolled me to Ayang Music School, where I wanted to learn how to play the piano. But after I reached there, Sir Jimmy Jukpa actually told me that I would make a better singer, and so he taught me how to sing. And then since then I've been taking a few music classes here and there just as a part of my high school, doing the assessments, singing wherever I can. And then I met Tshering Lham from M Studio, who actually made it all happen for me. Yes.
That's what I was going to ask you. Was Shachupang Ngangthur, was that your first song? Did you compose it? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. So the ministry and M Studio together, they were collaborating so that we could have more originality in the music industry, so that something that could represent us, and especially from youth, that's what they wanted. So a few of us were gathered and told to make original songs, and so everyone was composing about romance and about different kinds of things, and then the rappers were composing all this angsty kind of music. And I couldn't really, I've never composed a song before that, so I didn't know what I could compose about. And then I just realized it had been less than a year since I moved back, and I felt so much satisfaction just from being back and noticing all the changes. So I decided to put that in a song for the Depop show, and that was my first song that I composed.
You actually composed it yourself? That was the first time I came to know of you. It really resonated with me because I think I had also just come back from my master's, and then like you, I was like, whoa, this WeChat is big. You know. Even in the villages, people are like leaving messages. My ammas are leaving messages on WeChat, and I had that feeling. And then even you, and then I was struck by how something that I noticed, how someone had actually captured it into a song, and it was done so well. I'm so proud of you. And even the music video is very interesting. How was the experience? How it's in the Chhoden, right? And was it a one-shot music video? What was the concept behind it?
So it was supposed to be a one-shot music video, and obviously in order to make just one round, we had to speed up the song.
Yes.
So I had to walk super fast and with the double speed of the song, and then make it in one round and not mess that up. But somehow I had very good videographers with me. So this was directed and written by Deepika Adhikari.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's currently doing a lot of Zumba classes. So she wrote the script out, and I was wondering how I could possibly do it in one round, and for how long I'd have to stay there, having everyone at the Chhoden watch me and disturbing their prayers. Yeah. But luckily I had really good videographers, so Namgit DJ and Yeshi Thaye, they're from the Cup Entertainment. So they were really good, and they could just walk backwards as fast as I was walking. And we were done with the first try. So
oh, really?
Yeah. So it took us a whole 3 minutes, I think, first try, and we were done.
Oh, really? That's very impressive.
Very lucky as well.
Yeah, and then your personality just comes through, because we can see there's like few points here where you're a little bit insecure, because you can see the people around you. Like you said, the people praying are like, what is this girl doing, walking so...
I don't want to disturb their prayers.
So you're a little aware. Every now and then you become aware of your surrounding, but at the same time, your love for music, I feel like that just takes over, and then I don't know, it's like the performer in you. You just start singing and you feel the words. So I could see that. And was that your first live performance in a public arena? Where was your first live performance?
I think informally I've had that a lot of times in school and in school concerts and things like that. But I think the first time I actually performed live was in Australia.
Okay.
So I took up music thinking that it would be an easy theoretical class, but then I went there and there were all these Australians with professional clarinet and professional pianists who woke up at 5 a.m. to play piano. And I felt really insecure because I didn't expect that. I thought there'd be a textbook and I'd learn it. So I was like, I guess I'll sing, and then and they taught me a few techniques, and they kind of got me comfortable with it. And through one of my music exams, I met a vocal coach who actually took me to perform out in Australia. And so I think that was my first time.
Oh, really? Yes, how many people were there in the audience?
I lived in a very small town, so there were probably about 50-60 people in this hall. So,
was it nerve-wracking? How was it?
It was because if I was singing a Dzongkha song or something, I probably would have been comfortable. But it was a Western audience, and I was singing a Western song, and I wasn't sure how well I'd do, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. So.
Okay, that's good. I wanted to know where you got your influence from. Are there other singers in your family? Because you have a really strong a vocal set, and are there others in your family who sing?
Nobody really sings, but so when I was born, my father was actually abroad, and instead of sending his wife home diapers and baby clothes, he decided to send home, I think, about 25 CDs. So that had Eurythmics and Westlife and Britney Spears, Shania Twain. So growing up, I was just listening to those CDs non-stop, and I still do. And I think I got a lot of my inspiration from those CDs. But growing up, I preferred to listen to Alicia Keys and Rihanna because they emanate such strong personalities as women, and I found that to be, I don't know, I wanted to kind of get some of the energy from them and try to resonate with it. So yes.
I definitely think that you're a very strong performer yourself. Throughout all of it, how has been your family support initially and now? Are they supportive? What do they say?
I think because they're not singers themselves, they were very excited. They were very excited. And I remember the first few times I started singing, they were like, where did you learn that from? They were just like, how did you do that? Because and then they tried to sing with me.
Oh, really? That's sweet.
And they were really supportive. In fact, it was my mom who recommended me to go approach M Studio and see if I could start singing in Bhutan after we moved back. And even now, I think they're my biggest supporters.
Okay.
So.
That's nice. First time I met you, it was at Mountain Echoes, and you performed at Mountain Echoes. I was blown away by how you just came alive on the stage, and although you are a human being and you have your moments of self-awareness every now and then, but the performer in you would take over and you would exude this confidence and this attitude that is just like, I know you might not understand what I'm doing, but I like what I'm doing, so this is what I'm gonna be, you know. I got that feeling from you. So I wanted to know where you get that confidence from.
I think confidence is a very relative concept, and also you never know how that person is feeling deep down. For me, my mother, I think growing up, was very shy, and she wanted it to be different for me. So she never even taught us the words for being shy, and would always like hide that from us. So every time I'm like, Mom, I feel something weird, she's like, it's nothing, moving on.
Really?
So she tried, but then growing up and being on social media, being in school with other youth, insecurities just naturally they come about, and it does get to me sometimes. But at the end of the day, I mean, nobody's really watching, and even if they are, it shouldn't bother you, I feel like. So if I'm only this age this year, and this is the time I can do this, and this is my only opportunity, so I guess I just kind of get on with it. But I wouldn't be able to confidently say that I don't have insecurities as such. So
do you remember like a particularly vulnerable point in your life, an insecure point of your life, and how you perhaps overcame it?
I think high school was a time I was quite insecure, because that's when you put a bunch of teenagers in Bhutan, and then as Bhutanese people, we have a lot of name calling, you know, just a bit of banter. That's just casual banter, but it really does get to you. And I think with me, I was always insecure, but every time I was insecure about something, I tried to pull something else up. So this is why I was this major nerd back in school. So every time I'd feel insecure about not being cool and not being pretty or anything, I'd be like, it doesn't matter, I'm smart, I'm going to get this. So I'll just start studying. I don't know how sustainable or how good of a coping mechanism it is, but it worked out for me. So, and I think at a certain age, it doesn't bother you anymore. And I don't know, I hope all my sisters and girls out there who get through the same experience, and even my brothers out there, if you feel it, it'll go away at some point. So just live on, I think.
Just do you.
Yeah, just you do you.
So growing up, did you have any strong women role models in your life?
Yeah, I think because I'm Sharshop, so I think our families, I wouldn't talk for the whole Chashop population, but my family is particularly with a little bit towards the matriarchal side. I mean, nothing toxic, but we had very empowered women. So watching my grandmother and my mother, I never saw that being a woman would make me any less. So I think in my family itself, I had a lot of strong women to look up to. Yes.
Okay. What do you think about challenges for young girl artists like you?
I think that being in the music industry as a girl has both pros and cons. The advantage is that in terms of having a larger audience, I don't know how the statistics work, but I think it's always refreshing to see a young girl perform, and that too with so much passion, especially with people who are actually younger than me as well performing. It's so refreshing and nice to see that. But just as much as the attention, there's also more scrutiny to, I think, female professionals in every field, not just in music. For instance, especially for particular genres that aren't really, for particular contemporary genres that aren't really the mainstream kind of music, like hip hop or rap. So, you know, you can have a young male rapper go about and rap about anything, and that'd probably just be laughed off. But if a young female rapper did that, then there'd be a lot of scrutiny, you know. And for us, when it comes to music videos, you can just tell the difference when we show up to performances in music videos, how much effort we have to put in, even whether we're interested in putting it or not. We just put in so much effort to present ourselves a particular way. And our male counterparts, not all of them, some of them actually do care, but I think it's forgivable for them just to rock up just wearing whatever and singing whatever. And even in terms of performing live, I think the platforms for women are just more limited because, of course, there's no rules stopping us from performing in any kind of live performance bar or any platform. But when the hours are a little bit late and you're performing in a bar full of people, and I mean your family gets worried. And
throughout all of it, who would you say has been your biggest cheerleader, constant cheerleader of Jurmey's life?
I think my mother. Yes, she's a big fan. First fan, big fan. But yeah, I think my mom, she's always very excited about everything I do. And even if some of the things I do, it's beyond her understanding because she comes from a different generation, and she still tries to make compromises to kind of understand and contextualize and appreciate whatever I do. So I'm really thankful for that.
And when you were mentioning about the challenges that young girl artists face now, and when did you have to face it, and when you did, what did your mom say or do that made it better for you?
A major challenge I face is not from being a female artist, but more from being a bebop singer, because we're this new genre that's trying to be contemporary and kind of fit into the likes of everyone and kind of meet what the market is demanding. But at the same time, we don't want to lose our culture, so we incorporate elements of our culture as well. And I think a certain population fails to understand that what we're trying to do is actually preserve the culture, because culture is always changing and inevitably you don't know what will happen unless you preserve it, and we're trying to preserve it. But some people don't understand that, and I think that's where most of the criticism for myself and other artists comes from. You know, culture, mebmata, you have to protect your culture and all of that. And I don't know, that always...
What do you say to people like that then?
I mean, at first I feel like I will try to educate them on what actually we're trying to do and our motive, because we're not trying to change the culture, we're definitely not trying to lose it. In fact, we love our culture so much that we want to make it compatible with the international platform as well. So that's what we're trying to do. So at first I will try to explain, but if it repeats multiple times, then I feel like that's not our job anymore, and we'll cater to the audience that actually appreciates our kind of music. So I think with that challenge, that's what I would go to my mom about before and be like, Mom, you know, should I just stick to singing Beta all the time? Because I do enjoy that. Should I just sing Beta? Should I not sing anything else? And then my mom would tell me, just sing what you want, because there'll always be people who like it and who don't like it, and the ones who don't like it shouldn't be more powerful enough to stop you. So I think I've always had that kind of support.
That is so nice. That's so nice to hear. I also wanted to ask you, because you've just dropped a new single, Jithai. Did you write this song?
Yes.
Yes, and I listened to it on YouTube on repeat when I was coming to meet you today. And of course the music video is nice, very nice, but it's always your vocals that strike me, and it's always your presentation of the song. So when you're singing it, I feel like it comes from a personal experience. Is it a personal experience?
I wouldn't say like a personal experience, like I wrote everything based on certain things, but I noticed that I'm very experimental and I want to try out with different genres, and I noticed that I write a lot of patriotic songs, which is definitely been something that's within my comfort zone, but I wanted to step out and write something more contemporary, more romantic, because I feel like the Bhutanese audience, as much as they say, oh, it's all love songs, they like it.
Like love songs.
They like it. And then I noticed that a lot of the love songs that exist, they're very unrealistic. I mean, it's beautiful, it's romantic, but it's not something I particularly resonate with. So I wanted to come up with something more realistic, hence the lyrics are more like, you know, Namle Karma Mintu Pabmitsu, but I'll fly to another country or anything for you. So I wanted to make something that I could resonate with, because I feel like even if I was in love, I could not do it very, I think I'd be very realistic and straightforward. So I think that song represents how I feel.
Where did you film it?
In a few locations. So the music video, Lhendup had actually planned to represent all 4 seasons in this music video.
Okay.
So we have different backgrounds, and we went all the way to Kabisa, and then to Punakha, and to Poro in Dawakha, and to Tergola in Ha.
So you've been everywhere.
Yeah, I took a journey.
So what other hobbies do you have? You're a nerd, we've accomplished that. And you're a really good singer, you write amazing songs. Anything else up your sleeves, La?
I really enjoy learning about different cultures and traveling. So any opportunity I'll get to go anywhere to learn about anything, I'll go take it and travel.
Okay.
And I also really love languages, so I like to learn new languages as well.
Okay. And you were mentioning that you're also interested in and you are quite involved with the youth advocacy programs. So tell us a little bit more about that.
I think growing up, I think since I was in YHS in class 9, I noticed that the youth were very active there. And that's when I kind of realized that everything we do to empower the youth wouldn't work as effectively if youths were just merely passive recipients of what was being given. And so I feel like the more active a youth is, the more empowered the youth will be, and then the whole nation, you know, will. I just think that it's so important for youth to be active and empowered. And so I think I began with myself, and I started to take up a lot of programs and awareness programs, and join YPR and work on reviewing like the youth policy and health policy, and just kind of associate with other youth and to learn more about it. And also I'm really into doing Model United Nations. It's a platform that happens internationally where you kind of pretend to be United Nations, and youth come representing different countries, and they debate on diplomacy. They learn diplomacy, and they debate on certain world issues. And so that has been really interesting for me.
What future plans for you?
I just graduated, and I enjoy doing a lot of things. So I'm not sure, but I think I'll always be doing music, because no matter what happens in my life, it's something that really, it's very meditative for me, and I can truly be involved in that and just enjoy the process. So I think music will always be there, but I might work on studying and doing more research in the future. I hope.
Okay, I'm very excited to see what you do next. And also I wanted to ask you, as a parting message to our audience, do you have any message or any advice to young aspiring girls like yourself out there right now?
To young aspiring musicians, especially young aspiring girl musicians, I would say just do it. The opportunities are endless, and they're all around. You just need to find the right network and choose the right people that you want to work with and collaborate with. And don't really listen too much of what everybody has to say. I think you have to also be selective about who you want to take seriously and whose advice you don't want to take in. But in general, to all the youth, I would just like to say that the opportunities are unlimited, and they're everywhere. And people always say in Bhutan there's no opportunity for youth, but honestly I've never seen a country with more opportunities than Bhutan. Like you can do anything, and it could be the first or second time it's being done, and you can be forgiven for that as well. So I think this is the time that we all try to empower each other and become as active as we can, so we can really take Bhutan forward. And to the audience, to those who listen to music, while you're enjoying the music, I hope you enjoy everybody's music, but at the same time I hope you also respect artists' copyrights and other kinds of rights that the artists have, because after all this is a job and people have to make a living out of it.
Thank you very much for being here.
Girl on Fire. Alicia Keys. Singing. My adaptability. Just how beautiful and empowering it is. My mother. Everything. Inequality. I love learning languages and I am currently learning German. Probably the time when we went for Holi celebration in front of the King and Aji and Kelse, or Mountain Echoes when I got to sing with Lhendup. Sweet food. Messy people. Would you rather have bad breath or smelly feet? Smelly feet because my feet don't have to talk to anyone, I guess. Would you rather live in a world where there is no music or in a world where there is no movies? No movies, no movies. You need music. Would you rather be famous or rich? I think rich because even if you are famous, you can't attend to everybody's likes. Would you rather be underdressed for an event or be overdressed for an event? Overdressed any day. That's just who I am. Would you rather be known as the best at song compositions or for having the best vocals? I would say vocals because I'm only starting to do song compositions, so.
Thank you so much for watching. Do remember, you're strong, you're smart, you're beautiful, and your story needs to be heard. Take care.